Yo, what is up? It is your boy Robin to another video, and you know what time it is. We are just a few days from WrestleMania 2025 41. Holy shit. I was only alive for half of that. Welcome to the video where I will be looking at your hot takes on this year's 2025 WrestleMania. Now, I asked you guys in the Discord, what are your guys' hot takes? If you guys don't know, I did this last month for the 2025 Elimination Chamber. So if you ever want to, put in your hot takes for a video like this, join the Discord down below. Let's get right into it. For the first hot take we have, Charlotte shouldn't have a match at Mania. Let the new stars shine. Now, as a Charlotte Flair fan, I'll try not to be biased, but I can agree with this. I think Charlotte has won many championships. She doesn't need a Rumble. She doesn't need a Royal Rumble. She doesn't need to go to Mania. I agree with that. I love Charlotte Flair. She's one of my favorite women in the WWE at the moment. But I can definitely agree with this take. It's not really a hot take, I'm gonna be honest. I think everyone's thinking this exact same thought around the whole universe because everyone hates Charlotte for obvious reasons. Jey Uso isn't world champion material or a good singles wrestler altogether and should lose to Gunther. So I'm gonna be honest, this is gonna hurt some feelings, but I somewhat disagree. Now, yes, I do agree the fact that Jey Uso isn't the best best wrestler. He isn't close to the best. He isn't, up there. He's more for entertainment. He's more for the charisma. He's more for the storytelling. But I think Jey Uso should win. Because what was the point of Gunther winning to Jey Uso back to back to back, back a few months ago? It made no sense if Jey Uso loses that Mania. And if they make Jey Uso lose that Mania and then do a Cody Rhodes storyline where he went back-to-back Manias to win the title, I'm gonna be totally honest and I'm gonna be fucking pissed because we don't need another one of those. I think it's a waste of a spot for a WrestleMania card, if I'm being totally honest. Dom should win the Fatal 4-Way and unlock a feud between Demon Finn, Penta, and Braun Breaker for the main event titles. But I think Finn should win and go versus Dom because we haven't got a Finn title run in so long besides the tag team titles. But I think I don't think they should bring back Demon Finn though. I think Demon Finn is dead. Losing that many times like the Fiend to Edge, when he was supposed to be undefeated, I think it doesn't make sense to bring him back. Bring back just regular Finn Balor that's out of the Judgment Day. Let him leave, let him branch off and do a solo title run versus like Dom or I don't know, here and there, or even when JD comes back, have Finn pair up with JD McDonough. I would love to see that tag team. I would love to. But I get what you're saying. I don't really agree with this hot take. I'm more on the side of having Finn be the winner and go versus Dom, and then Penta versus Braun Breaker in a little feud. But I agree, not every feud has to have a title, and I agree also with the fact that Penta just came to WWE. I don't think you should have the title right yet. Give it another year or maybe half a year for Penta to pick up a title. Maybe after the draft, you could have Penta go to the other brand and then get a title over there. Maybe the US title. This is one of the worst WrestleManias in some time. I'm only excited to see the Fatal 4-Way for the IC title. The other matches are so dead. I can agree. I said this the other week where I legit came out in the Discord and said that there's not much star power within this Mania. There is a lot of star power, don't get me wrong. Like there's people like AJ Styles, Randy Orton. There was Kevin Owens, of course. Unfortunately, he's injured. He won't be here this Mania unless it's a very good work, which I don't think it is. But I just feel like compared to other Manias, this is definitely the one that's lacking a little bit. So I get what you're saying. I get it. The IC title match I'm really excited for as well. You got Dom versus Penta versus Braun versus Finn for the IC title. That is insane. I mean, Finn, of course, he's past his prime, unfortunately. Dom is still very young. Braun is young. Penta's a new face in this company. But I think Finn's going to win. I think they should make Finn win, pull the trigger, let Finn have a solo run out of the Judgment Day, let him leave, and let him go into a feud versus Dom. Then let Braun versus Penta be a thing. That would be amazing. I would enjoy that. I like this one. Cena should mop the floor with Cody, not gonna lie. I can agree. Because let's be honest, this new heel persona of John Cena is bigger than many, many different gimmicks in the company has ever seen. It's insane to where if Cena does end up losing, or if he ends up getting destroyed by Cody, I feel like that just destroys the gimmick of Cena being heel. If I'm being totally upfront honest with you guys, um, but if Cena does, I want Cena to win. If Cena does win at Mania, I think he should then drop the title to Cody again. I think Cody should become the champion again next year, because I think Cody was meant to have a long reign after losing to Roman last year. So I think he will definitely pick up the title again next year. I think Randy Orton will win this title if Cena wins at Mania. I think Randy will win the title at like SummerSlam or some shit. So I think Cena will lose the title before next year. I think he'll definitely lose the title like mid 2025, like SummerSlam, maybe Bad Blood even. But yeah, I agree. Cena should definitely mount the floor with Cody. I think I, a part of me though wishes no, because it's a WrestleMania main event. Why would we want a squash match in the WrestleMania main event? You know, people didn't come here to see a 4 or 5 minute match of Cena destroying Cody, and that's why I'm guessing that's what you mean by mopping the floor with him, is a squash match. I can agree but not agree. I just don't want to see a squash match for the last match of the big show of the year. Doesn't make sense. But at the same time, I can see that. Paul Heyman will be the reason Punk wins the match. Now, I have a lot of people, including myself, that think that Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman will align with each other, not Paul and Punk, or not Paul and Roman. A lot of people, including myself, think it's going to be Seth and Paul, because Seth still has that favor for Paul. And if we know, for the past few years now, WWE has been very unpredictable. But now people are guessing that it's going to be Paul and Seth. So it's becoming a little bit more predictable with people guessing and all these speculations. But I don't agree. I think it's going to be Paul and Seth. I think that'll be a big swerve. I think that'll be a big swerve in the storyline, and I think it's going to be great. I think Seth could definitely use a Paul Heyman by his side. I mean, to be honest, you could argue he's getting old, but CM Punk's old. Roman's getting old, you know? They're all getting old. So we're not just going to have Paul leave. No, all three men are still in the company. When they're still in the company, things are going to keep going, and then Paul is going to pick somebody. So I think Paul will pick Seth Rollins. Jay versus Gunther will be a better match than Cody versus Cena. I disagree. I heartily disagree. Not just because of all the critics and all of the IWC on Twitter saying Jay sucks. He has 4 moves. He sucks at. I think Jay's a good wrestler. I think Jay obviously is better on the mic. I think he's better with his charisma. I think his entrance is amazing, way better than his moveset. Like Triple H said, it's not about the moves. It's about storytelling. It's about entertainment. But I'm not saying this because of that. I'm saying because I genuinely think Cody versus Cena will be better. I love Gunther. I love Jey Uso. I love Cody. I've never been a big fan of John Cena though, but I do think John Cena Cody's gonna be better than Jay versus Gunther. I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't know if this counts, but Charlotte winning the Rumble wasn't a bad choice. This does count. Charlotte was the winner of the Women's 2025 Royal Rumble, and she's going to Mania to be in that match. I agree. Earlier, like I said, it's not just because I'm a Charlotte fan. I 100% agree, because she was a returning face to the company, even though she's got many opportunities before. It could have been Alexa Bliss, and I think it should have been Alexa Bliss, but I think people were overreacting when they were going crazy when Charlotte won the Rumble. I definitely think with Charlotte's veteran skills of being a multi-title champion, and going to many WrestleManias, I think her veteran skills will come in favor with the Mania match versus Tiffany Stratton. Now, do I think Charlotte's going to win? No, and I hope she doesn't win. I love Charlotte to death. I'm not a big Tiffany fan. She's growing on me, but I think Tiffany should 100% win. She's young. She has charisma. She's a good champion. She needs to hold the belt for a little bit longer at least. Losing to Charlotte would definitely bury Tiffany, in my opinion. She's young, so some may argue, no, she won't get buried. But why the fuck do people? Why there are some people that think Charlotte should win at Mania versus Tiffany, and I think they're delusional. I think they're 100. I'm a big Charlotte fan. If I'm saying Charlotte winning versus Tiffany at Mania is delusional, there's something wrong with that statement. There's something seriously wrong. Tiffany Stratton should not lose at WrestleMania. I will not stress this enough. And if you think differently, you're delusional. Everyone has their rights to their own opinions, but I just think that that's the wrong opinion. Last but not least, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles wasn't needed. I mean this by Logan should be facing someone at a higher stakes, or maybe even for a belt. AJ could have been ready to step in against KO instead. I agree. Noah, I agree with you because Logan Paul is so fucking good, and I'm gonna be honest. His U.S. title reign obviously wasn't the best, but I think the reason why they're not putting a belt on Logan Paul is because he doesn't show up to work every day. If he showed up to work every week or almost every week, then I think they would have put a belt on him. Now, I think AJ Styles, you guys can hate me all you want. I think AJ Styles is well past his prime. He still can do it. AJ Styles can still run in that ring, but I think Logan Paul should have gotten matched up with somebody else for maybe a belt. I do agree with that, but I think they're doing it because he doesn't show up to work every other week. So maybe that's the reason why they're not throwing a belt onto Logan Paul. I mean, he has the charisma. Logan Paul. I can go on all day about him. Despite the shitty person he is behind the ring or outside the ring, Logan Paul has the charisma. He has the moveset. His new finisher looks amazing. Now, obviously, Logan, let me go on about this. Someone on Twitter said his finisher won't work on everybody. No fucking shit. That's why he can develop other finishers. That's why Logan Paul has that lucky right hook. That's why many wrestlers have different finishers, so they can use it on different people of all sizes. Just saying, we're not gonna see Logan Paul pick up an Omos or a maybe an Obafemi and do that inverted DDT or a, what was it, like a, it's a good finisher, by the way, clean, by the way. But I do think, yes, back on track, I do think Logan Paul should have went for someone more high stakes, because to be honest, AJ Styles is past his prime. Like I said, he is not who he was years ago, and I think winning versus AJ Styles won't do much. For if they continue this rivalry after Mania, maybe he'll do more, but I just don't see if Logan Paul were to win. I think he will win. I don't think he'll do much for Logan Paul at WrestleMania. That's the video. If you want to put in your PLE hot takes a couple days before I make these videos, join the Discord down below. And if you enjoy this, like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.